Hello, in today's video we're going to look at what's required to create a good lead magnet. Now what I've done here is to create an example based on the retirement planning niche, but the principles apply to any niche and any lead magnet. So I've made this example up and we can look through that shortly. But before we do that, let's take a look at what the elements of a good lead magnet are. The first point is that for any lead magnet, it needs to be targeted. You need to target your ideal audience and it needs to be relevant to that audience. And we'll look at that in the example shortly. To do that, you need to understand what your potential customer pain points are and what specific issues they face, and that's where you'll need to do the research to do that. So let's look at the sample and see what we've done there. I've aimed this lead magnet at UK married couples aged 60 plus who are preparing for retirement. Now that's a fairly specific group. Obviously planning for retirement, people can start that at a very early age, but we are looking specifically at people who are coming up to that retirement age, you know, that can be a difficult process to go through. So that's the focus of our lead magnet. So we've made this lead magnet very specific to that group of people, UK married couples aged 60 plus. Okay, so what we'll need to do then is understand what issues they're facing. And again, if we look at the lead magnet, you can see here we're targeting this at the small matter of managing your budget. So we understand that managing a budget is a particular difficulty that, well, most people face, but in particular when you're leading up to that period of having to exist on a smaller level of income. Okay, so that's the targeted bit. Ultra helpful. What we're looking to do here is solve a specific problem. There are a whole range of problems, but in this particular issue we're looking at how to budget for retirement, but we could be looking at how to keep fit, how to find volunteering opportunities, and a whole host of other areas that we can do. And we're also looking at providing value. So I mean, we could create a checklist, we could link back to your blog posts, you know, for whatever niche you're in, or we could signpost to relevant organizations. So again, if we look at our example, we've already said we're focusing on managing a budget, but you actually could take it right down to this sort of level to make it very, very specific, to help them understand and gather the information that's necessary to look at how they're going to be living when they come up to that retirement period. But I've chosen on this one to make it budgeting, which is a manageable focus to do a lead magnet for. What I've also done, you'll see in several instances in the bit where we talk about crafting a sustainable budget, I've got a link to an organization called Step Change, and if we open that website you can see that it has a whole host of options on making a budget, saving money, banking and borrowing, so on and so forth. It's a general budgeting well, that particular part of the website is about budgeting, but nonetheless that could be useful for people moving up to retirement. You'll also see that I have put a link in here to Age UK, and Age UK have some good budgeting information as well as other things about benefits and the like. And I've also put a link to University of the Third Age, which will help them to look at sort of activities they might get engaged in. So it's we've tried to make this lead magnet as helpful as we can. Okay, so going back to the key points that we need to look at, it needs to be easy to consume. So now I've in the one we've looked at, I've broken it down into 5 different sections. We've got very clear headings, lots of white space. I use bullet points where I can, and relevant option. What I mean by that is, are you looking for an ebook, a checklist, an infographic, a how-to guide? And it will depend on your niche and the sort of information you're trying to get across, which particular format you choose. In this particular one, I've done one which is a downloadable document, basically. So if we look at that again, we've got it broken down into 5 sections, relatively small sections. It's not a large document. People want information that's easy to digest and easy to read these days. Lots of white space in, so it's nice and easy to read. I've used bullet points where that is applicable, and we've come to a summary conclusion at the end, and we've got a call to action for them to visit our website, so we're helping them with the next step as well. So that makes all of those things in there we've put into the sample lead magnet. Impressive, what do we mean by that? Well, it needs to wow your audience, basically. You're trying to get them to engage with you and visit your website or buy one of your products, whatever the purpose of the lead magnet is. But whatever you do in your lead magnet, it needs to be well researched. It needs to show that you can demonstrate authority. It needs to be of a good quality, and it needs to be engaging. So to do that, you might, for example, add a quiz or a video built into your lead magnet, a short video on a particular area of it, maybe as an introduction or whatever it might be. So when we look back at the example again, it's we've got a nice heading there, so it's introducing them straight away. We're using some nice pictures in there. We've got the engagement through the links that we've put in, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not an expert in the retirement planning side of things. I just researched this just to throw up an example, and I used AI to create a lot of this. Now, I happen to be using a tool called LeadCreator, and there's a link to LeadCreator at the bottom of this below this video if you want to take a look at that. But it's a great tool. I use it every day for creating lead magnets and other resources for my website. So it's a great tool for that. But there'll be a link below the video here. Okay, so let's go back to our thing, and the last point it needs to be is actionable. Now, what we're saying here is there needs to be concrete steps that your audience can follow. It needs to solve their problem or improve their current situation, and you should have a call to action in there. So again, with the way we've structured this particular example, we've got the different areas. We've broken it down into the bite-sized points, and we've given them actions that they can do. Create a comprehensive list of your assets and liabilities, track your monthly income expenditure, and then they can understand what their current situation is. Yeah, looking at their goals, we've said, you know, speak with a financial advisor, for example, so they can help you set realistic goals. You know, but it does depend on how an individual wants to spend their retirement, or whatever it is you're talking about within your lead magnet for your niche. So we're giving them some actions here. So again, in this crafting the sustainable budget, we're giving them an overview, we're giving them a link to somewhere that can give them a budgeting tool. So we're throwing quite a lot of actions at them there. And again, you know, check your state pension, so on and so forth. Go to Age UK. Look at the U3A website again. So it's all giving them all actions. Consider downsizing your home if it's too large, so on and so forth. Look for ways to save you money. So we've got a lot of actions in there, and right at the end we've got this call to action, which will take them back to the website. Now I've got a link in here and a button here. What this actually does is open up, or it would do when it's actually linked to just to google.com in that particular one, and the button has the same link as well when it's live. So that's an example of a pretty good lead magnet. Obviously, as you go through creating lead magnets, you will get better as you do them, but that's aiming to solve these or to address these particular areas of a well-structured lead magnet. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and as I said before, there'll be a link below the video to LeadCreator, which is the tool I use, and I highly recommend you have a look at that. But I'll also put a link to this sample lead magnet that you can look at, and maybe it'll remind you of some ideas. But I've also done a resource which is a summary basically of this video and the areas that we've talked about here, and that will also be in the section, in the description below this video. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have and you want to see others, there are plenty of others on my channel, then please subscribe, like and subscribe to the channel, and if you think it would be useful for someone else, then please share the video as well. Thank you very much for your time.